Nelsa, let's continue with our conversation.
And just before the break, we were speaking about the importance of routine. And just before we wrap that up, I want to know what are some of the mistakes that people make? Because we spoke about course correcting, and that's the term that you used. I'd be like, taking stock. Course correcting, especially you need to choose like a season. It's okay, you don't have to wait 6 months to course correct. You could have like end of the day. What are some of the mistakes that people make, in life or in general, to say, Guti, they wake up too late and they had routine, but then they don't stick to it? What could be the cause of some of their downfalls? So like, okay, I had a routine, but I didn't stick to it. I was supposed to do this, but I didn't do it. What could have been those downfalls or mistakes that they did that caused them to actually take stock and they only realize that it's too late now?
I think the biggest thing is follow through, right? You said something very important that most people don't stick it through.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to study, building habits, you know that you need to do something for a period of 21 days to 40 days for it to become a habit. Once it's become a habit, it becomes a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Most of us quit before the 21 days.
Yeah.
So you don't give your body and your entire mind the time to build it as a habit, to build morning routines as a habit. Because remember, most of us have not had these things for 21 years.
Yeah.
So you've got like 23 years of not doing this.
Yeah.
There's a habit in that. The inactivity in and of itself is a lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
Now you're trying to introduce your mind to a new system, a new way of life. That's going to take rewiring your mind. You understand?
Yeah.
That's why the Bible says, don't be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So that actually means, on a scientific basis, developing different brain patterns and thinking waves. Now that for them to develop, it takes 21 to 40 days. That's why most challenges, it's a 21-day fast,
Right.
a 40-day fast, and
Yeah.
things like that. Because you need to break the 14 to 21 days, because then it's a tug of war.
Yeah.
The old you and the new you are busy trying to fight, and most of us, we lose that battle because we don't have follow through. That's where we most lose it. And then by the time it was just about to become a habit, you then gave up. So that's point number one.
Yeah.
Point number two, like I said, I think a lot of people are not honest. We tend to adopt people's blueprints and try to use it for ourselves, right? And think, because it worked for Ole, because it worked for Neo, man, it definitely has to work for me. But one of the things I always say is that don't copy the blueprint, copy the principle. Understand what the principle of the blueprint was, and then ask yourself, how can I personalize the principle to suit my character, my personality type, the reality that I deal with every single morning, right? Because you could want to jump onto the 5 a.m. club, but if you're working night shift,
you can't.
Your 5 a.m. might be 11 a.m. in the afternoon. Do you understand what I mean? But if you learn the principles from the book, then you can personalize them, right? For years in my life, I used to, always wake up at 3 o'clock. And some of my coaching clients would then want to jump on that. And I'll be like, you don't understand why I do
wake up,
Do you understand? Learn the principle. The principle is about being able to put yourself in a position where you're gaining an hour or two extra that is just for you to set yourself up for the day. So that could be 5 o'clock for you, that could be 7 o'clock for somebody else. We are all different, running our lives differently. So I think the biggest problem is that we don't have follow through, and number two, we just copy blueprints and expect them to work.
Coach, is the 21 days really scientifically proven that after 21 days things are going to be different, or your habits are going to be different,
so
if you really stick to what you plan?
We can definitely send you some research that backs it up. So between 21 to 40 days, that's how much it takes for your mind to develop a new brainwave pattern. And that's why it usually takes that time to develop the habit. You understand? And now it's about, once the habit is developed, if you go past the 40 days, it stops being a habit, it becomes a lifestyle. You understand? You don't even have to think about it anymore. Right? If you think about driving, there was a point where you needed to close all the windows, the radio needed to be down, right? Everybody must be quiet, and you were literally checking every single thing. But now it's on autopilot. You don't even remember sometimes, how did I drive from work to home? It's on autopilot. And with things that can benefit you, you want to get them to that place.
So it's a matter of discipline, basically.
Definitely.
Now I also I also want to probably there's a mom out there, and this is especially for the mothers, ne? Maybe like a single parent, and they'll be like, no, but I wake up at 5 a.m., prepare the kids for school. At 6 o'clock, we need to be leaving the house. I'm stuck in traffic for an hour or so. Now they know a routine. It's like, it's a routine. And probably by 11 o'clock, they come home at 5 o'clock, they have to prepare dinner, they have to help the kids with homework and so forth. By the time they go to bed and they are like super exhausted, how can we encourage them to say, no, look, you too can do it, you still can have a proper routine where you get, because we also understand that a person needs rest.
Yes.
How can we encourage a mom out there who's working like almost over 12 hours a day, is like busy 12 hours a day, but she also wants to put in healthy habits, in developing like good habits, like taking care of herself, resting, probably going back to school, starting a course. How do we encourage a person like that who has like so much to do in her workday?
Yeah. So I think support and intentionality are very, very important. I've got friends of mine who are married and have kids, and one of the things that they always tell me is that without intentionality, their relationship would have broken a long time ago. Wow. So they have to be intentional about dates, intentional about helping each other take rests and things like that. So for a single parent who's looking at, really building her life again, the intentionality of actually planning your time away from your kids, actually planning what you'll be doing during that time away from your kids, and making sure that it's things that are birthing you with energy. That's fundamentally important. And building support structures, whether it's family that is around that can be able to take the kids for a few hours, even if it's just on a weekend, to give you that added time to yourself, to be able to invest in yourself and things like that. It's fundamentally important. Having conversations with adults, stimulating conversations, because if you're just taking care of kids the whole day, that also in and of itself, it drains you. So having, stimulating conversations with friends, with family members, with other peers, that is a source of support that keeps your mind active so that you can be able to do the things that you need to do. And then again, having an evening routine is so important. So once everybody's died down, how you wind down your day is just as important as how you start off your day, right? I always say an evening routine should be think about someone who works at a big factory, and before the shift closes, you need to shut everything down. Most of us are not shutting down effectively, right? If you're on your phone, by the time you pass out and your phone is hitting you on your face, you're not shutting down properly. We all know about blue light effect and how it hinders us from getting into deep sleep, right? So already as a parent, you've got like minimum time to sleep. So you want to make sure you're getting into deep sleep as quickly as possible. So shutting down TVs, shutting down anything that can emit that blue light that can hinder you from getting to deep sleep is important. Having a journal where you journal and you reflect your emotions and your thoughts throughout the day, things that you did, how you processed it, how you think you can be better. All of that sort of like calms down your entire system, calms down your mind, because most of us, again, we're not resting well because our minds are too active while we're supposed to be sleeping, because you didn't conclude the day. So shutting down the day well is fundamentally just as important as starting it right. Hi champions, thank you so much for watching our content. Remember to leave us a like if you like the content. Make sure you drop us a comment. We'd love to hear from you, and make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on the next videos. And hey, make sure you share this with your friend. Let's impact the world together. So thank you so much champions. See you next week.